All right, going to separate these videos into two different ones. So this video, I'm going to go over the first two games of the tournament, and then probably Sunday. Sunday, I'll roll out the video with I'll do one on the other two games. But theme of this tournament: player movement off the ball, or spacing, and organization. In possession, big improvements we need to make. I feel like there's a couple players that get it, and that's it. So we need more players to get it on that end. And let's look at it. First off, though, we'll look at this kickoff here, though. I was talking about this before the game and going over it on the board, where we want to try kicking the ball forward immediately off the kickoff. And if you look here, Dave and Peter have a 2v1 right away. Like if that ball comes forward here, I mean, he's got his back to the forward play. Like they should be able to get by this kid right here, 2v1, and that would lead him into the next line. And instead, the ball goes back, and immediately we're under pressure, and we almost lose the ball, right? Or I think we do lose the ball here, and we do. All right, so like when we get into 9v9, this is kind of what it might look like, where we go forward and we could play that short, quick passing game in the middle of the field if it's there, or it gives us an option to send a longer driven ball down the wing, and we'll get to create a chance from there. We can start out with two center backs back here, or we could even get super aggressive and have like a keeper back here, and there's a couple of different possibilities there, but I want to try going forward right away. And I don't know if we were confused, if we wasn't sure if there was a rule that didn't allow that, but that's what I was telling us before the game to do, and we'll try it again next time. All right, so player movement here, we have a switch, which is good. Let's go back there here. So here, nowhere to go on that side, good. Two players here, we need to move over. We have Ralphie making a movement this way, but we have a chance to outnumber the other team here. If we make movements in this way after the switch, we immediately have to shift over. And, we don't do that here. And instead of outnumbering them, these two players hanging back. Peter makes a later run here. Ralphie makes that movement there. That's the only option we have. So limiting our options by doing that, and it's just not a good. It's not a trait of a good team, right? When you do stuff like this, so we got to clean that stuff up. Next one here, we're going to player marking. So issue here is, I'm just going to get out of this view here so you can see the whole. So we see the whole thing. So let's go back here. All right, so look, this is off a goal kick. Should be a man-to-man defense, and right off the bat, this player isn't marked. We're just not. In this case, I think I've mentioned things like if you don't have a player, then there's an issue. We talked about the zone defense, like these players back here are defending our back three or back two, whatever we played. They're actually usually in a zone. Even, I know we said we don't like zone, but whenever in a big sided game or in futsal, whatever it has, they've usually been in a zone. So the difference between when we played the zone in futsal versus when we didn't play the zone in futsal was we were in a low block instead of a high block. So maybe I'll go over that more in the next video, what a high and mid and low block is. So yeah, I'll do that. And but I specifically talked about we wanted to be a man defense. So what needs to happen is here, Gavin Zorg should actually be on number 4. Cheney should be on this kid with the red shoes. Davin's right there. Peter's right there. Sam should be up on this player here, and Aiden would be on this player here, and then David would actually be on or let's see here. Yeah, David would actually be here. Same here. Yes, that's correct. That's what's confusing. I didn't see this player back here. So because of that, it's going to leave players open, and it totally goes against our plan. And they're able to drive the ball upfield, but that's mental, right? Doesn't matter about your technical ability or physical ability or attributes. Just mental mistakes. All right, so let's get to the next one. We have a play here, Matt, with a really good recognizing the switch here. All right, so excellent job. Somehow sees that. Doesn't, I don't know how he's able to see how David's open and less than a half a second there. It doesn't look like he's looking that way. So amazing job by Matt recognizing that. But the point here is after the switch. All right, good. Now we need to be aggressive. Frankie making a run. Ralphie, aggressive. Urgency, making a run. Gavin, urgency. Nobody's urgent. It's just a jog, like there's nothing special about it. It's not going to work. This isn't. It's not chess or anything like that. It is a strategy game, but you can't just if you think that type of movement's gonna work and get open. It's not. All right, so big correction we have to make. All right, so that's a combination, not that one. Let's see defense here. This kid gave us a hard time. Look, he was strong, and he had a good right foot, but yeah, I'm sure he was older, and he was fouling like crazy, and the ref didn't call it. I thought about maybe if we went to a back 3, that would have helped, but we usually had the players there. He was just going by us, and tried to shift to a strategy to make him shoot with his left. And later on, I think if we would have did that from the beginning, we would have been we've been better off, and that's the way to go. And that's a good tip for you. Really throughout, most kids are going to be, even up into high school, they're not going to be as strong on their weaker foot. So when in doubt, shade them to their weaker foot, and it's going to be you're going to have more success defending. All right, so next one, reviewing this play here. All right, good ball movement, great firm pass by Matt there, and then we just give it away. And anytime you give the ball away in the middle of the field, like we didn't need to do this. Like he's got Ralph, you have tons of time and space to make a good next decision, and it just goes straight to the other team. And but even so, I was telling us to shade him off to the left, and I think Colby was just caught off guard because if you look back, this kid's right foot shots, everyone was like 100 miles per hour in the corner. Colby was expecting like greatness coming from this shot, and that was the first one we seen him hit with his left, and just definitely correct and speculating that like he wasn't as good with his left because you see that it's kind of odd movement on the ball, kind of like I don't know if it hit something. Yeah, it definitely looks like it hit something and then kicks left, and that there's Colby off too, but it definitely wasn't a strong shot, and that's what I was happy with the defending here because we made him uncomfortable. But yeah, turning the ball over for no reason, we gotta do better there. Here, without Frankie's physical with him, he grabbed his shirt, but this kid was fouling us all day, so we did it back to him. Ref didn't call it. This shot here from David should be first of all good no look pass from Peter here. He keeps his eyes focused out here. So look at this. These defenders are all focused on him, where he's going to send the pass. Sent it the other way. Now this shot needs to be right foot if you can. If the pass is soft enough and you have the time and space to take this right foot, you want to do that because the left foot here, it's coming across your body and it's hard to square it up. And this pass certainly is like at a good speed where David has time to adjust his hips and take that right foot, and that's going to result in an easier shot attempt there. So keep that in mind. If we can avoid off a cross, the ball coming across our body, we want to do that. And taking the shot with the nearest foot. Next one here, we have a goal. This is off a corner. And head ball there by David. Good stuff. And here is, again, man-to-man assignments mixed up. David should be on this player out here, out wide. Ralphie should be on the ball, and Peter should have this kid who just took the tap. All right, it's not what happens. David vacates his man over here. And now, of course, he's wide open. So who do you think he's going to send the ball to? Oh, we got to go back to that. So we're back. Who do you think he's going to send the ball to? Of course, this player out here. So now David's got to go chase back his man. And who was originally supposed to be on this kid? Supposed to be Ralphie here. And that doesn't happen. So now Peter has to pick up number 15 here. And he does. Now Gavin Zorks is the cover defender. Peter's the pressure defender. So Gavin Zorks needs to be in a spot where he can cover the player off the ball, which is this player, and cover this player in case he gets by Peter at the same time. So if he needs to vacate for it, he can go step up and get this player. And I sense the pressure because this kid was giving us a tough time the whole time, right? But you want to protect the middle and the goal first, all right? And there's no reason to be on the left side of number 15 here because if he gets by him that way, it doesn't hurt us as much. So we want to err toward the middle. And then number 4 makes a diagonal run, and it just leads to us having to recover from the initial mistake up top in the very beginning of the play all the way down the chain. And the more time we have to make adjustments in who we're covering in a man-to-man playing defense, the more likely they're going to be able to catch us off balance, which they did here, and make us pay for it. So that's what happened there. Here we have movement again. And again, it's really boring. You know, no one's watching this and saying, wow. No one's watching this and saying, look at that unbelievable run, you know, Frankie just made, right? Because, you know, the thought's there, but it's just, it's slow, and this guy's in the way anyway, right? So it doesn't make any sense. This space right here, nobody found it, right? If we go right here, let's go back there a second. Right here, this touch here, he should already be running this way, looking to get in the pocket between these defenders, because Gavin's going to come wide. That's going to draw this player out wide, and that would have created an opening for David here. Ralphie just holding his hand up. He could be making a more aggressive run this way. Just not good enough. Not good enough. Eventually, we do get the switch there, and you know, we create a chance down there. But yeah, player movement. We tried to work on some of it in training on Wednesday, and yeah, I'd say it's going to be a huge theme going forward. Then we'll talk about, I was talking about Paul Maldini after the game or after the tournament on Monday about, you know, you look at this guy's statistics. He played 647 league matches in Serie A, and he scored 29 goals and 27 assists. The World Cup stats, I don't know why they're not on here, but they're not. But the numbers are similar. And like I said, go look it up. Go search him up on YouTube. If you you know, look at or ask anybody knows what they're talking about, they're going to put Paul Maldini in their starting 11 for all time. You know, they said, give me a starting 11 for your all time best players, soccer players, all time. And he would be in the starting 11 as a center back. And, you know, you'll see if you, you know, watch, there's so many videos about him on YouTube. You can look him up, but clearly known as the greatest defender. The intensity he had, you know, other thing I spoke about in that huddle was about the intangibles. That we're going to keep pushing those, the things that aren't measurable by stats or assists, things like your intensity in the match, things like how good a teammate you are, things like communication, listening in practice, leadership, winning 50-50 balls, things, you know, that, like I just said, you don't get stats for. Maldini was all these things and the best at every single one of them. So we'll keep pushing on that. Like I said, this video was on the first 2 games only. And what I'll do on probably Sunday morning, I'll put up another video, and I'm going to do it on the second 2 games. Already done the clips, just got to do the video on them. So, all right. I'll see everybody around. Later.